With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 2 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programas offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Τα προγράμματά μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule.
The Creator also sent down souls from His substance, since He too has a power of procreation, because He is something which has come into being from the representation of the Father. Please continue watching for the ancient Gnostic teachings from the Hammadi Holy Scriptures.
Vegan, we know it's the best choice for the world.
Assalamu alaikum means peace be upon you in Arabic, the official language of Libya. I am Amal. The endearing people of Libya are inspired by your sincere efforts to make this world a paradise by being vegan and making peace. Welcome to the creation of material humanity, part 1 of selections from the Gnostic Hammadi library. The Hammadi library is a collection of early Christian and Gnostic manuscripts, also called codices, that were discovered in 1945 near the Egyptian town of Hammadi. The writings in these ancient books date back nearly 2,000 years. Their discovery and translation have helped scholars to re-evaluate early Christian history and the nature of Gnosticism, an approach that is emphasized in these texts. Gnostics believe that a divine spark exists within each person, through which a direct experience of God can be achieved. Today, the precious Hammadi manuscript collection is housed in the Coptic Museum in Cairo, Egypt. We now invite you to join us to hear excerpts from The Creation of Material Humanity from the Tripartite Tractate in the Hammadi Library. In Gnostic terms, the Aeon represents a level of divine perfection that came from God the Father and is without form. Within the creation of a physical realm, divinity can still be present, but is no longer perfect. In this context, spiritual liberation involves repenting the mistakes of physical existence, so that we may return to the formless divinity of the Aeon. Another concept in Gnostic teachings is Logos. Logos symbolizes the universal divine principle as expressed through physical form. One such representation of Logos in Gnostic scriptures is the Son of God, Lord Jesus Christ. The creation of material humanity, the matter which flows through its form, is a cause by which the invisibility which exists through the powers for them all, for as they beget before them and destroy. The thought which is set between those of the right and those of the left is a power of begetting, all those which the first ones will wish to make, so to speak, a projection of theirs, like a shadow cast from and following a body. Those things which are the roots of the visible creations, namely the entire preparation, of the adornment of the images and representations and likenesses have come into being because of those who need education and teaching and formation, so that the smallness might grow little by little as through a mirror image. For it was for this reason that he created mankind at the end, having first prepared and provided for him the things which he had created for his sake, like that of all else is the creation of mankind as well. The spiritual Logos moved him invisibly as he perfected him through the demiurge and his angelic servants who shared in the act of fashioning in multitudes when he took counsel with his archons. Like a shadow is earthly man, so that he might be like those who are cut off from the totalities. Also, he is something prepared by all of them, those of the right and those of the left, since each one in the orders gives a form to the in which it exists. The which the Logos, who was defective, brought forth, who was in the sickness, did not resemble him, because he brought it forth forgetfully, ignorantly, and defectively, and in all the other weak ways, although the Logos gave the first form, through the demiurge out of ignorance, so that he would learn that the Exalted One exists, and would know that he needs him. This is what the prophet called living spirit and breath of the exalted aeons, and the invisible, and this is the living soul, which has given life to the power which was dead at first. For that which is dead is ignorance. It is fitting that we explain about the soul of the first human being, that it is from the spiritual Logos, while the Creator thinks that it is his, since it is from him, as from a mouth through which one breathes. The Creator also sent down souls from his substance, since he too has a power of procreation, because he is something which has come into being from the representation of the Father. Also, those of the left brought forth, as it were, men of their own, since they have the likeness of being. The spiritual substance is a single thing, and a single representation, and its weakness is the determination in many forms. As for the substance of the psychics, its determination is double, since it has the knowledge and the confession of the Exalted One, and it is not inclined to evil because of the inclination of the thought. As for the material substance, its way is different, and in many forms, and it was a weakness which existed in many types of inclination. The first human being is a mixed formation and a mixed creation, and a deposit of those of the left and those of the right, and a spiritual world whose attention is divided between each of the two substances from which he takes his being. Therefore it is said that a paradise was planted for him, so that he might eat of the food of 3 kinds of tree, since it is a garden of the threefold order, and since it is that which gives enjoyment. The noble elect substance which is in him was more exalted. It created and it did not wound them. Therefore they issued a command, making a threat and bringing upon him a great danger, which is death. Only the enjoyment of the things which are evil did he allow him to taste, and from the other tree with the double fruit he did not allow him to eat, much less from the tree of life, so that they would not acquire honor them, and so that they would not be by the evil power which is called the serpent. And he is more cunning than all the evil powers. He led man astray through the determination of those things which belong to the thought and the desires. He made him transgress the command so that he would die, and he was expelled from every enjoyment of that place. This is the expulsion which was made for him when he was expelled from the enjoyments of the things which belong to the likeness and those of the representation. It was a work of providence, so that it might be found that it is a short time until man will receive the enjoyment of the things which are eternally good, in which is the place of rest. This the Spirit ordained when he first planned, that man should experience the great evil which is death, that is complete ignorance of the totality, and that he should experience all the evils which come from this end after the deprivations and cares which are in these, that he should receive of the greatest good which is life eternal, that is, firm knowledge of the totalities and the reception of all good things. Because of the transgression of the first man, death ruled. It was accustomed to slay every man in the manifestation of its domination, which had been given it as a kingdom because of the organization of the Father's will, of which we spoke previously.
It's rewarding for me to know that my art is fighting oppression and growing the vegan movement. My biggest dream is to see a vegan world. Rivers Lab Vegan.
Elegant viewers, we appreciate your kind presence for selections from the Gnostic Hammadi Library, Part 1 of 2, The Creation of Material Humanity, on Words of Wisdom. Please join us again tomorrow for Part 2 of this program. Coming up next is Vanille, an ode to Guadeloupe, Nature and Our Childhood Spirit by Guillaume Laurent, Vegan, Part 1 of 2. May the mercy of the heavens be always with you on your spiritual journey.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.